you were Jed York, right? If Denise and John called you up and they appointed you, they said, Grant, you can do whatever you want. What
We've
is
been
the
watching your videos. We really think you got
right,
the
right? They're
vision
like,
for this team. Yeah.
we like the way you think about things, you know. What is the first move you would make? Because I think there's a pretty first obvious move. And when I say move, Grant, it can be personnel, it can be front office, it can be anyone, anywhere.
Um, I don't think I would reassign Parag. He would no longer be in charge of all the things that he's in charge of at all. That he would
I would
go.
send Prague to Youngstown. Actually, just get him out. Get
He
him
could go.
out of
He could
there.
go work on Leeds United or something like that. But here, nah, we don't need you anymore. Thank you for your service. And I would make sure the team did something with Jimmy Garoppolo. Like, guys, we can no longer be in like wait and see mode. Let's a little urgency here. We're in a Super Bowl window now.
It goes back to Parag though, right? Because it's ultimately a Parag issue. He's the one who has this contract set up where they can get rid of Jimmy. No financial, casualties. They can just clear him right off the books. Besides, like $1.5 million, and Parag is the one who signed that deal, yet he's not willing to execute it, or even he may not have the power to execute it, right? So I guess if you could get rid of anyone, like I was saying, Parag I think is the obvious candidate because if you look at the way they've been doing all their deals, Grant, they set all their deals up this way. They
Yeah.
set all their deals up the same way, where it's minimal money in the beginning, and then over time that increases and increases, and then they have the ability to get out from underneath those numbers. And basically, the only real use they've actually had for those type of contracts is when players are completely, gonna retire, are so hurt they're done from the league. Guys who literally can't be in football anymore. I mean, even a guy like D Ford, right, whose contract isn't set up that way either, he's still on the team right now. So
Mhm.
I think if you look at what the rest of the league is doing right now, and we've discussed this before, but I mean, Prague to me is the number one issue with this franchise because if you can't figure out the financial um, benefits of having a QB like Trey Lance, having him be the third overall pick, it's detrimental to your team. Right now, they're third highest paid in terms of quarterback room.
Hold on, though.
That
But I
is
just want to
an
say,
issue.
like, it's not all Parag. It's Jed too.
Yeah,
Because if Jed were more forceful, if Jed were like Eddie, and if I were in his position, I would be telling John and Kyle, who are my subordinates, I run this team, guys, I want to go for it. I want to go for it now. So I know you guys want to wait a year. No, we're not doing that. Get rid of Jimmy. John, you got to take the loss on that. I don't care. I'm not going to fire you if you cut Jimmy Garoppolo. I'm not going to hold it against you. Move on. We were in the NFC Championship game last year. Do something. That's what I would say. That would be how the boy, the meeting in my brain.
and I think the main thing, Grant, and I heard you talk about this. I know we've talked about it before, and I saw you talking about it recently, but it's more they aren't having conviction, right, with their decision to go up and get Trey Lance.
Yeah.
In the first place, they didn't even decide who they were going to draft before they went ahead and made that trade. Then when they went ahead and made the pick, and they could have had the opportunity to trade Jimmy to the Patriots or offload him in any other way when they could get more value than that third round pick, which is the ultimate value apparently. Like they didn't do it, which to me is obviously there were complications with last season, right? Trey's finger got hurt, a lot of stuff happened to where it was probably right to have Jimmy start the whole season because you didn't want to put Trey in those circumstances. And honestly, by the end of the season, when Trey Lance started that Texans game, do you really want him going into the playoffs, having all that pressure underneath him and not having all that game experience where,
Right.
well,
Because
you're
again,
forced.
if he loses, everyone's like, well, Jimmy would have won. Jimmy would have won. Right.
Jimmy's a
Yeah.
winner. Jimmy's a
Jimmy's a winner.
winner.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
So I don't know, man. This whole Trey Lance Jimmy thing, like we've had the answer from the beginning. It's more the team's unwillingness to have conviction in their own decision making. So that's super frustrating. But then also, Grant, like the third round pick that the last caller was just talking about, and I do think there is a lot of truth to like the fact that they're not going to settle for anything less than that because that's the minimum value, right? That pick is like the 105th overall pick next year, right? It's like Danny Gray essentially, right? I
It's
mean,
Ambry Thomas. Sweet.
exactly.
Sweet. That's what at the end of this, they're going to get the 100th pick in the draft and be like, that's a successful offseason. That's how we do it here in Santa Clara.
Well, and you know what they're going to do, Grant? They're going to be like, hey, look at all the picks we have now. We have a second-round pick. We have 2 third-round picks.
No first-round pick. No first-round pick.
No.
Well,
but
okay.
we replaced that value. We spent $27 million on a third-round compensatory pick because that's totally worth it.
That's how we do. Ben, I got to take a couple more calls before the end because my stomach is killing me, man. That's too much information. But good to see you, Ben.